My name is Dr. Switzer. Today we are going to look at the details of a text that help us determine the central idea. Remember, at times an author will write with an explicit central idea, or he will establish a central idea through inference. The author basically makes the reader look at the details in the text to determine the central idea. All right, when we're looking at central idea, this is going to be more of the big picture of the article. Okay, it's more than just the topic. So let's dig deep and look at the details of the picture we will review and decipher exactly how the author is trying to portray the topic. First, let's look at a few tips to help us with the next activity. Step 1, think about the main point the author is trying to make. Step 2, note when the central idea emerges or is revealed. 3, analyze how the central idea is shaped by specific details over the course of the text. And 4, remember, sometimes the central idea is implied rather than being obvious. All right, examine the cartoon below. Think about the central idea and its supporting details. Paleontologists research for fossils that reveal more about creatures that lived in the past. What's the central idea shown? So below, they've already provided it. Central idea, paleontologists help us learn about dinosaurs in our past. Supporting details that we were provided, the dinosaur bones show the shapes of the creatures from the past. Also, studying fossils reveals clues about creatures that lived in the past. Next, we will review summarization. Summarization is a step that helps a reader determine a central idea. First, let's look. What is a summary? A summary is all of the ideas from a text written in your own words. B, a summary is your opinions about a text. C, a summary is a shortened form of a text with all of the main ideas. Or D, a summary is a review of a text with main ideas and your opinions. Let's take a moment to look at those. All right, if you selected C as your answer, you would be correct. A summary is a shortened form of a text with all the main ideas. Why do we summarize? Readers can write a summary of a text to let someone know the main ideas of what they've read, or a summary of a text helps you, the reader, understand what you read. Another question is, why do we write summaries? Students often write summaries as a school assignment, and summaries can also be on tests because your teacher is looking to see if you understood the text that you read. What makes a good summary? Here are 4 basic rules for writing a summary of nonfiction. 1, include important details from the text. 2, put ideas in your own words. 3, leave out little details and repeated information. You don't want to get bogged down. And 4, use the text structure of the text. For example, was the text structure sequencing, cause and effect? Now, let's look at the news report below. Think about what's important points might be. A local woman was injured while water skiing when a large silver carp jumped across her path and broke her jaw. State park officials indicate that this non-native species is known to fly over the water when it is disturbed. Many consider the fish to be a public nuisance. So let's stop. A non-native species is a species that typically would not be found in that waterway unless somehow there was an intervention. Like the fish got transferred by fishermen into that lake. So it's a non-native species. So we're looking for our central idea and one important detail. They already provided us with an important detail of silver carp fly over the water. Also, a silver carp injured a water skier. We have our summary provided. A non-native fish species known as a silver carp is dangerous because it can injure a person. All right, so our central idea would be a non-native species of fish, the silver carp, can injure people. And our important detail, which was left out, is that a silver carp are non-native species. Now we're going to watch a video discussing main idea and supporting details.
There are all kinds of crimes in this city, and all sorts of clues to solving them. But when those clues are hidden in a piece of text, that's when they call me in. Detective Dietz, Text Analysis Unit. What's going on, officer?
Missing person detective. The neighbor says the man who lives here went to his mailbox earlier today, and now he's vanished. Third case like this today. Mailbox left open. 2 red shoes sitting right in front of it.
Any other clues?
Just this article that was in the mailbox.
Let's see if we can get the main idea. Deke Malloy has been hunting for comets in the night sky for many years. He hopes to one day discover a new comet that will be named after him. He also knows that many things in the sky can be mistaken for comets. Airplanes, meteors, even the planet Venus. So when he found something strange in the sky one night, he thought he should double-check what it was. Now to get the main idea, we need to find the main topic of the article, and the most important point about the main topic. The main topic seems pretty easy. Deke Malloy. He's the only one in this article. What do we know about him? He has been looking for comets for many years. He hopes to discover a new comet, and he found something strange in the sky one night. I think finding something strange in the sky is probably the most important of these things. So I need to put the main topic, Deke Malloy, together with the most important point to get the main idea. Deke Malloy found something strange while searching the sky one night.
That's the main idea? Do you think it's connected to these shoes?
I'm not sure. I think we had better find this Deke Malloy.
Next, we're going to have practice. All right, so at his death in 1971, trumpeter Louis Armstrong was much loved as a celebrity. As a musician, he no longer commanded wide respect among the general public. To most people, he was the man with a toothy smile who made occasional appearances in television and movies, usually singing what had become his signature songs, Hello, Dolly, and It's a Wonderful World. Jazz enthusiasts, however, had another take on the passing of Louis Armstrong. To them, he was the New Orleans-born musician who had, along with Bix Beiderbecke, introduced the solo to jazz. With records like Struttin' with Some Barbecue, I'm Not Rough, and Potato Head Blues, Louis became the first great jazz influence. As music critic Terry Teachout has written, Louis Armstrong was the player other players copied. Still, at his death, few really knew what Louis had accomplished, and in his honor, radio and television broadcasters played Hello, Dolly, not West End Blues, his 1928 recording that starts with what may be the most famous horn solo in jazz. So what could we conclude? What was inferred? A hero to much of the jazz community, Louis Armstrong was forgotten by the general public at the time that he died. All right. But it discussed he was a much loved celebrity in 1971. All right. At his death, Louis Armstrong was a beloved celebrity whose spectacular achievements had been forgotten by all but devoted jazz fans. All right. If you selected B, B would be the correct answer. All right, our next practice. Let's look at some informational text. When tourists remember South Dakota, most of them think of the Black Hills National Forest and Mount Rushmore National Memorial. Black Hills includes 100 miles of pine woods. Its main attraction is Mount Rushmore, which sports 70-foot-high faces of four presidents carved 600 feet above the valley. One of the most well-known presidents, Abraham Lincoln, was known as Honest Abe. South Dakota is a truly beautiful place to visit. Mount Rushmore is a famous monument that tourists often visit. Which sentence best supports this idea? A, the Black Hills National Forest is located in South Dakota. B, Mount Rushmore is the main attraction of the Black Hills. C, the Black Hills National Forest is over 100 miles of wood. Or D, Abraham Lincoln is one of the most well-known presidents. So, which one supports that Mount Rushmore is a famous monument that tourists often visit? If you selected B, that is correct. Mount Rushmore is the main attraction of the Black Hills. Now, we're going to look at two different articles about succulents and compare them. Secret lives of succulents. Succulents are more than cacti. From agave to aloe, succulents have a wide range in appearances and uses. The main trait of these plants is their ability to store water. It causes the plants to have parts, such as leaves or stems, which are more fleshy and thick. These allow succulents to survive in arid and hot areas, where rainfall is low and temperatures drastically rise and fall. Many people enjoy the look and low maintenance required to take care of succulents. They quickly become a favorite among people afraid of caring for more fickle plants. However, just because they do well with little water does not mean that they can thrive without regular care. Succulents require special soil and should be properly watered at least once a week. They also need plenty of sunlight, but prefer indirect sunlight and a milder temperature. This will allow them to grow properly and provide your home with color. Next, tasty succulents. With its prickly foliage and menacing appearance, cactus seems less than appetizing. However, cactus and other succulents make for tasty dishes with little to no preparation necessary. Cactus leaves, also known as nopals, are used in many traditional Mexican and southwestern dishes. It may take some time to clean the leaves of thorns. Use cold water and wear plastic gloves and carefully shave the leaves until all the thorns are gone. Cooking is as simple as boiling or frying the leaves. Other succulents require no cooking and can be great chopped up in salads or as a side dish to your favorite protein. Varieties such as purslane and agretti are commonly viewed as weeds in some parts of the world, but in others they are considered delicacies and served raw. They are high in omega-3 fatty acids and natural saltiness. Though some succulents require more care and preparation than others, they can become an important part of your meal. Which two sentences express central ideas shared by both passages? A, handling succulent plants isn't very difficult to do. B, succulents are common and can be used in various ways. Or C, succulents are weeds that should be pulled immediately. D, succulents are finicky and rare plants. And E, the best parts of succulents are the fleshy leaves and stems. All right, Article 1 talks about the succulents, and 2 talks about succulents that make tasty dishes. So, A, handling succulent plants isn't very difficult to do. B, succulents are common and can be used in various ways. C, succulents are weeds that should be pulled immediately. D, succulents are finicky and rare plants. And E, the best parts of succulents are fleshy leaves and stems. So let's look at it. Handling succulent plants isn't very difficult to do. They did talk about it. Succulents are common and can be used in various ways. Both articles talked about various ways to use your succulents. Succulents are weeds that should be pulled immediately. They didn't talk about pulling weeds. D, succulents are finicky and rare plants. No, they talked about them being popular. And E, the best part of succulents are fleshy leaves and stems. That's just kind of an extra detail there. So, if you selected A and B, your answers would be correct. This concludes the lesson. I included the sources that I used for this lesson. I hope looking at details to determine central idea will be clear for you as you read in the future.